Here we go! Here we fucking go! Good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. What a live stream we're going to have tonight, man. I did not expect that. I've literally just seen your comments in the live chat. I've had some DMs and stuff. I'm just finishing my wee pre-stream sig. And Fab Rom's on the show as well. Not with me tonight. But anyway, sorry. Where are my manners? If you have good fun tonight, guys, make sure you do like the stream. Make sure if you're watching this after we've been live, drop me a like as well, please. It means a lot to me. Helps the channel and all that good stuff. But we have 22-23 season Belgian cards out after the Austrians. They came out today, and then, like I was just saying, guys, when I'm coming out the intro, fist bumps to all of you. Rascal Misaki, Alex Wilson, almost said Axel there. Luca Calabrese, Ian Sorare, and SI Rob, Mark Hodgson. Good to see you all. Plenty of you here in the live chat, nice and sharp. Good to see. And where to start? I've not even looked at the Fabrizio Romano thing properly. I just opened my notifications after I seen all this stuff coming to me. And I thought, ooh, let me go and see what it is. And it's a proper little 2-minute video. So I thought we'll start the stream off. I'll probably just watch along this with you. I've not seen it yet. I just seen it was a wee 2-minute video. Evan Crightley, fist bump, my man, good to see you. So I thought we'll start the stream off by just going into the Fab Rom stuff, and we'll just pick up from that, you know. So here we go. First time for me listening to it as well. Let me get my headphones on. Here we go. Oh, Esposito is getting, they're teasing us here, aren't they?
Hey guys, Fabrizio Romano here, breaking down the biggest transfers of the summer in the Jupiler League. So everything you need to know to build your team on Sorare at the best level. Here we scout.
Here we scout.
Sebastiano Esposito, this striker from Inter on loan to Anderlecht, really talented guy, was very good on loan to Basel, had some problems, but then he started to score some good goals, and the Inter are convinced that this boy will be the future of the Nerazzurri and of the Italian national team. On loan to Anderlecht in competition with Fabio Silva, but Esposito, especially with the free kicks, could be something special, so remember his name. Toby Alderweireld, the centre back. I go with experience, 33 years old, but I'm sure that many of you remember of him at Tottenham. He's a player who could bring some leadership. I'm sure that he will be a regular starter with Royal Antwerp. This centre back is a player that you can trust. He's a player that will give some guarantees, and so I want to pick this name for the potential team on Sorare because experience is always important. The third name, Simon Adingra, and remember this name to Union Saint-Gilloise because this guy has something special, some football contact. In my network told me, remember of this guy because he was really special at North-Zealand as a talent. Then Brighton decided to sign him on permanent deal and send him on loan to the Jupiler League to have some opportunity to show his skills. Nice. And the feelings are very good. Wonder goal on his debut. This guy is really fast, really skillful, and so Adingra is one to watch for your team. Sile Larin, I really like this striker joining Bruges on a free transfer from Besiktas. Many clubs wanted him, Bologna in Italy, Olympiacos in Greece, and they were really fast at Bruges to hijack the deal for Larin, a player that could have a very good future. Let's see about the game time, but I want to risk on him because I'm sure that he has very good skills. He was Rookie of the Year in MLS in the past, and he has something to show if he wants to be a top player in the future. So he could be a really good name for your team. Nicolas Castro for Genk is a very good talent. He was involved in 10 goals at Newell's Old Boys in the last season, and he was 19, and now he's 20, and he has a very good opportunity at Genk because he's going to replace Torchbelt, who joined Sassuolo, and this guy has really the skills to become a player for top European leagues in few years. So very good opportunity for him to move to South America with this very good chance in the Jupiler League with Genk, and I'm sure that he could be a player for many assists and goals, and some Spanish team already monitoring him, so remember of Nicolas Castro. And guys, see you soon with a new episode of Here We Scout with many other talents for your Sorare team.
That was class, eh? Here we go, party time. That was class, wasn't it? What do you guys think? Actually, I think he knows his stuff a wee bit here, doesn't he? You know, I like the Munoz shout. Where's my wee party face at? Sorry guys, there we go. Loving it. So yeah, where to start with that, guys? But let me know your thoughts. I know this is just kind of like PR stuff or whatever, but I love it. I think Fab Rob is quality to have plugged into the Sorare space. He's been kind of he's been kind of slagged recently for the tap-ins, I feel like, because he's, you know, the thing I've noticed with these transfer journalists is they just want to be tweeting out quickly and they don't mind crediting whoever's actually first or whoever has the scoop, if you like. But yeah, great guy to be connected in, and I'm looking forward to seeing that, because, you know, at first you're like, oh yeah, Esposito and Alderweireld, but the Brighton guy I thought was actually a decent shout, as well as the Genk lad. So, you know, fair play to Fab, and I wonder if he will be replacing Sean Newsham as the pump of the week. With Here We Scout, that could be good fun. Sven van Claveren, fist bump, good to see my man. What do the rewards get? Rewards should be here by now. I was hoping to catch them on stream. I think we will be able to. Thanks for joining us, Sven, by the way. Alex Wilson, you got a fist bump already, didn't you? There's Mike Basson, there's Moritz Pike, good to see you. Alex Wilson, you're getting, there we go. Sorare, Josh, and Mikey Basson. Let me see what you're all saying. He is the GOAT. It's so cool. Plot twist, Fab has been Pavel this whole time. Imagine that. Imagine Pavel. Imagine when it does come out, if it ever does come out. I'd love Pavel to be like the chairman of some club in Belarus or something. You know what I mean? Yeah, something crazy like that. I think that would just be so. It would be so funny, wouldn't it? I think it's a great way to start the stream off, guys. We've had a great announcement from Sorare. It's one of these ones, along with the transfer market one. It's just getting that kind of knowledge infrastructure, because Sorare, we've kind of said it before in a lot of beginner stuff and a lot of just kind of podcasts and live streams and whatever across the whole Sorare entertainment spectrum, I feel like, whether it be here, Sorare Data, John Nellis, Alex, Harry, and everything in between. That if you don't, you know, should it be expected of you to get the required knowledge to play this game, that you should have to go out and have a Twitter account and be on Discord and do this and do that? Sorare should want to have as much of the pertinent data to playing the game available on site as possible. So, you know, not that Fabrom's a data provider or anything like that, but that, along with the transfer market thing, like, that stuff just gets my juices flowing and gets me super excited. And game week 298, guys, like, I've already made my teams. We're going to go through lineup builder. I'll be jumping into live chat, just talking nonsense with you guys as well, of course, as well as discussing the Fabrom stuff. We've also got pictures for the full Liverpool squad, so we'll be talking about that. My personal opinion is all league or no league, and if we've got Liverpool, I think we've got it all. Let me know what you think about the Premier League in the live chat. I'll bring that up a few times as we go through, as the viewers come in and out with us. But yeah, that's the main one for me. What do you think? Is it going to be... Actually, I'm pretty sure there's a way I can put a thing in the live chat. Let's experiment with that. I'm pretty sure I can put something in, like a little poll or something. So, is it full league or no league? Is that the way I phrase it? Let me think about it. So if I go on, I'm pretty sure I can put something into the live chatty thing, and it's like a little pinned poll kind of idea. And where are we? Poll time. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. Pop out, toggle timestamp, say something. Can I type? What's this? Create a poll. Oh, there we go. Fantastic. Yeah. Liverpool cards. What do you think? There we go. What do you think? Liverpool only or full league? That's the best way of putting it, isn't it? Boom. Right, that should work. Let's see. Boom. Yeah, fantastic. Chat disconnected. Uh-oh. Right, it looks like I've got a poll up, but my chat's... No, I think it's coming back up. 80% only. Right, okay. You guys let me know if you can see it and stuff. It should be there. Yeah, it looks like there's a couple of votes already. Nice and snazzy. Loving it. So yeah, we'll run that throughout the stream tonight. Let me know what you think. Is it Liverpool only, or are we going to get the full division? For me, it's full division or nothing. And, you know, I think this is... The thing I like about Sorare, and the thing I love about the interactions I've had with them since they were like a seed company, or since they were quite small and they've kind of grown this time, is it is guys that run this company, like guys that have, like, you know, like Dan and Brian, obviously Nick, and all the other ones I've kind of spoken to. They're all real guys. You know, they all have fun with this in the sense that they love their job, they love the product and everything else. And, you know, I don't think they're above putting in, like, Marvel-esque Easter eggs, if you know what I mean. Like, it's kind of knowing that it was bidded for the full league, and, you know, that's a little leak. You know, they've not... think about it. How many times have we had picture leaks and then they're quickly, hide them, you know? Whereas this is still sitting there, you know? Like, you know, so I think it may be one of those wee ones that have been quietly confident this whole time. And this might be, along with the Fab Wrong thing, obviously we've had Jupiler today, and that was kind of foreshadowed earlier this afternoon because the Jupiler League's official account was like putting the Toby Alderweireld common card for this season on some stuff, so it was kind of like expected it was nigh. Also, we had Austria last week, and Celtic pictures are uploaded. Obviously, this Liverpool one is for the upcoming season. But yeah, I think we're going to get the full Prem. I think that's where we're at now. I think we get the full Prem, and I think Champion Euro like turns on its head in terms of everyone's perception of it, in terms of the rewards available. And then we'll have some more guys that will contribute to scores. I don't know how many big Premier League scorers there are, probably not many, but winning some of those cards from the Prem will make Challenger maybe a wee bit more palatable to put up with. You know, if there's just more prizes there, kind of thing. We've got 18 votes already. I can't actually see the result of it or anything, which is, or do I need to vote? I think I'll vote. Oh, no, I'm not going to press any buttons. It's asking me to do stuff and I don't want to break it. There's a bunchies here joining us. Thanks very much to everyone. The poll is kind of hiding a little bit of the chat, so I might need to hop onto the other screen to see everything. No league, just Liverpool versus full Prem. Let's hope so. Are there any news if Liverpool comes back? Well, it looks like it, Moritz. If you go and check on like other cards, they've all got new season pictures like on their player profiles, so they've got it all going. Evening Gaza, good to see you, my man. You got a fist bump, didn't you? Simo, I think there's a fist bump for you as well, my man. So like I've been getting into a really good habit over the last couple of weeks of making sure I'm getting my teams done as early as possible in the game week and trying to do my absolute best. I'm waiting for rewards to come out because I would love to open my reward with these. My Celtic team finished like 15th or something, man. Like, I was let down in a big way by Calmac because the last couple of weeks, if we go and have a look at him, the last like 2 or 3 games or whatever it was, he'd been banging out 60s just on all round. And he was looking like, look at that picture as well. This unique's going to be a good one, eh? No captain's armband. I love that because my unique has a captain's armband on, and for somebody like McGregor, that's just gold dust. You know, so yeah, 2 games before that, 61 and 65 with a clean sheet in the first game, so no goals conceded, hampering them, but also no decisives. And in this game, you know, same kind of things happened, but he's just not collected many actions in the match, so a wee bit of a letdown. He was the one that did really let us down, unfortunately, but that just gives me kind of more confidence going into next week, because I think that is the worst game McGregor's going to play, and I do think starts in, oh no, this is for next week, sorry, that's a different team, and I do think, I was wondering why it looked a bit weird there for a second. And I do think like Joe Hart's scores repeatable, Taylor is repeatable, these guys, both their scores are repeatable, so you know, it's a bit annoying finishing 15th, but I have to, you know, I can only look at my card here that brought in 40 points before multiplier, and, you know, it is what it is. We're going to be finishing at the top end of the tier 3 prize pool. I was kind of hoping to be in amongst the tier 2s, but been in amongst the top. So we finished 15th, and the tier 3s, I beg your pardon, start from 12th, so we're in like the 3rd, maybe 5th seeds, depending on other regions and whatever they might be coming into play. The top card there are Joe Newbley. Hendo tells me he's a player. I've seen him score a couple of worldies already this year. Kingsley will be a cool card. Papi Gillabajodi, I heard him getting talked about on, I think it might have been the Sorare data thing when Nusham and Laird yesterday. And there's some other guys in here. Gonik Stankovic could be okay. McCrory I've got on at 1, 2 could be useful. Herring could be good. Van Veen could be okay. You know, there's some smatterings of okay guys in here. So it is a real lottery. Nicky Devlin's in here. It could be something terrible. It's more than likely going to be something terrible. There's not very much in here that could be like, oh my god, what a jackpot. I say there's just some guys that are. Oh, Amogru would be very good. I'd actually quite like Amogru Super Rare if I won that for a tier 3 reward, because I think at the beginning he was maybe a tier 2. Ross Tierney, he was in a video I featured him on recently. He would be a cool Super Rare to win. So that's all I'm going to be getting, as well as the big ETH this game week, and I roll into next weekend a wee bit more optimistic. Just with Hearts at home. Hearts have got a European qualifier this midweek. Obviously we've got Rangers as well, so I think that kind of thing is going to play into Celtic's favour come the weekend. Such a strong team without any midweeks, or just going weekend to weekend at full strength at the moment, so I don't see any Celtic scores going down. I only see them going up, to be quite honest with you. And, you know, all my other teams did kind of okay, but it was just such a high-scoring week that I needed everything to kind of come together. This underdog team, I was actually quite disappointed with. 250 points, I thought was quite valiant, you know, but no cigar, unfortunately. Saka let us down here. And I was really hurt by that bloody typhoon. Like, nobody told me about it, guys. I'm not blaming anyone, right? It's my own fault, but... this team might have done better. I could have had these cards in other divisions, namely the Harwood Bellis would have been in a different division. It could have done something. The rest of the cards did quite naff. This team wasn't even going to go out until the very end and ended up substituting in Henriks. So that's basically what happened here. Is I've put Henriks in over Harwood Bellis. That would have got me an extra 9 points. And I forget if it was Llorente this whole time or if it was maybe somebody else that I had in originally. It's a midfield super. It might have just been Llorente. Don't think it would have been anyone else, but I think, yeah, it was Llorente. Trippier did good, Legit did good, but I played them in this division, and again, that was so close. We finished 31st in the end, but for the last match, we had Sorare and Elena playing against Atletico Madrid. Now, this match, by the way, I watched it. Did I watch it on live? No, I was on the Spaces, Twitter Spaces. Me and Alex did it. We'll be doing that on a more regular basis, so make sure to follow at Quinny3001 or at Simply Alex on Twitter, and you'll catch us when we're doing that. Hendo was involved as well at Hendo Sorare. But would you cry it? The Atletico Madrid match and the Getafe match on Monday night actually really impressed me. Obviously, I've got some Getafe cards. These are my teams for the midweek, sorry. And I've also got a few Atletico Madrid cards. But what Atletico Madrid were doing was very much what was promised. And it was amazing to watch. João Felix rocked in with a hat-trick of assists. And now, guys, if you did not watch the match, hear my words. João Felix looked electric, okay, in this match. Alvaro Morata looked like a real-life FIFA striker, you know, one-touch, L2 and shoot pass, L2 and shoot finishes kind of idea, and he looked really slick. And if they can keep that up, and Getafe are not in, you know, they're not the top 4 in the division, but they're definitely not mugs. They're very resolute defensively, and, you know, I know it's a bit of a stupid cliche, but like minus the goals, like, you know, it was a very even affair. Getafe actually had a good amount of chances to score, and we're quite unlucky on a few of them. As we look at shots, 10 versus 12, big chances, 2 each. Shots on target being the difference. 5 for Atleti, 3 of them being goals, 0 for Getafe. You know, so this was a really good game, and Atletico didn't have many chances they created, as you can see. No, they didn't actually have a different attacking output than Getafe themselves. They just got more of their shots on target and they made them count. And I only see that continuing. I thought this magic that we've seen between Felix and Morata. I thought this was going to be the magic we would see between Felix and Quinny. And right after this match, like literally as the final whistle went, it's like Quinny is linked to Man United. And I get a few messages in the Telegram group from the members about it, and obviously I'm a Man City fan, so I don't want any Man United cards, but for Quinny that would be phenomenal because he would definitely play, and I think he would definitely get decisives at Man United, being he's a better version of Bobby Firmino kind of at this point in time. Like, I think a team like Man United or Liverpool, that's how you would deploy him. And that's equally, like, if you watch how the link-up play was with Felix, if you did watch the Atleti game, Quinny can play that role Morata was doing, and arguably some aspects of it might be a little bit better because Quinny does have a good range of passing, and you know, maybe finishing in the final 12 yards or so, Morata's probably got the edge on him. But overall pace and pressing and that kind of stuff as well, I like Quinny a lot. So I thought it would actually be a really positive transfer, but it's kind of been quashed over the last hour or so. It's like, no way, Jose. He's got a minimum fee of 80 million and Atleti are holding out for it. And I think Atleti want to take 80 million off Man United for Quinny and then get Ronaldo for free on half wages or something, because that rumour just kind of won't go away. And Atleti are really the only Champions League team that haven't told Ronaldo to fuck off at this point. So I think that might rumble on. And either way, I just want Quinny to have a good season at this point. You know, ideally if he goes to Man United and does well, it makes it really easy for me to sell him because he'll win me some cards, he'll do well, and then some Man United fan will want him, and I don't care about Man United cards, so that's the ideal situation. Or if he stays at Atleti, then it's the original plan, of course. But it was a really good game, and I actually had a really good time watching football over the weekend. You know, this game was one of my favourites because I had so many cards involved. Elena was really unfortunate. He was my underdog card, and he got a booking. And the fouls, at first he was winning more fouls than he was giving away. He won a tackle right early in the match as well. And his passing and everything was doing good. But as you've seen there with the Getafe chances, they just never get any shots away. So some of the passes he was making didn't become attempted assists. He had a really good shot from like 30 yards and it went like that past the post. If he gets that on target, it's a shot on target, it's another couple of points, So Elena actually showed a lot of promise. And if I didn't watch this match, I'd see him getting booked and coming off the 58th minute and with a 36, and I'd think, oh, he's had a terrible game. But I've actually watched it, and I'm actually quite confident that Elena, the next match for him is Girona, maybe a bit. And again, I watched Girona play against Valencia, I think it was. And, so I'm, again, kind of, by the matches I've watched this weekend, they kind of already kind of inform me ahead of time for next week. And I'm sure you guys will be doing this as well when you're watching, but I'm just kind of thinking out loud with these. And again, Unal didn't get any shots on target, but jumped very well for some really good crosses. And I was really impressed with this guy, Iglesias, by the way. His stats do not do him justice at all. This guy was... a fantastic right back. I can't believe he's only 24, by the way. I thought this guy would have been like 31 and undesirable, if you like, because of the way he played was so professional, so mature. And I say this, look at that attack. I didn't even know this before opening this guy up, right? 18 attacking stats. He was just whipping balls into the box for Big Unal, and they've got Borja Mayoral for the knockdowns, and then Elena and Amrabari are hovering around the edge of the box. And this guy is the whip. He's the boy that's just whipping the balls in. 18.5 points on attacking. Where did they suffer the most? Oh, of course, it was possession loss and duel lost. No big surprise there. We know what's going to happen with that in the future. I don't mean to patronise you, but not any sense. Even against Atletico Madrid, where it is just, at one point, it is just like shell all the balls in, and that's all they've done. But if it's against a team where they get less chances to do that, there's less opportunities for him to give the ball away, or he's just more successful with the new matrix, like this guy could be a lot of fun. I'm going to guess he's super cheap. He was very good. He was probably the player I was the most impressed with in the entire match, if I'm brutally honest. See, for a rare 40 quid, that's banging. £2 for a limited. His stats are honking, but I'm telling you, this guy will have a good season. He'll be worth £2. He'll be worth 40 quid. No problem at all. I promise you that. No problem at all. And he did concede 3 in this game as well. So on the new matrix, yeah, against Atletico Madrid, you're all going to lose 12 points. You're going to lose, double. So yeah, conceding 3 is obviously hurt him as well. Let me check in with the live chat. Just realised I've been away from you guys for a wee minute. Was there any football you caught over the weekend that was especially exciting? Did anyone catch your eye that was unexpected, like a Juan Iglesias? Let me know. And I'll keep up with you. Hendo, good evening. Just popped over from John. It's John. Oh, Jesus, man. I seen right as I was loading up the Sorare data Q&A thing. Is it like 6:30? And I was like, oh, Jesus, man, I didn't see that. Was there any reason when they only had one club in previous years? Yeah, Sorare, Josh. So it was believed at the time, because prior to Sorare, there was no need for any NFTs, and NFT football didn't exist. There was no need for any rules or parameters on it. So the only rules or guidelines that were in place were with like the actual physical cards and stickers and whatever. And I think Panini and Topps had some sort of like exclusivity rights and all the rest of it. I think what's happened is, as the Premier League as a company has woken up to the fact that NFTs is a completely different category of item, they then just decided we're just going to actually make this a separate thing. It's its own rights and auction it off. But because until that point in time, it was dominated and dictated by what we are all kind of rumoured to believe. I think it's kind of everyone's impression of fact at this point, is that stopped us having more than one team at any point. So you could go and get the West Ham one. I didn't conflict with the exclusivity deal that Panini and Topps had and whatever, because it was only one club, it wasn't the full division. But now that's why the NFT Premier League licensing thing was so different, because it was a guaranteed way to get all 20, without going to every individual club, as well as maybe renegotiating that whole Panini thing and blah 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 whatever. So that's why I think it can only be full league or no league. And if we're getting Liverpool, then they come with 19 pals, That's my take on it. So there, Josh. Ricardo Cunha, fist bump, my man, good to see you. How likely we get a new Liverpool card in the next weeks? I think in the next 10 days we get them. Do rewards tend to come out at a set time or random? Tom Clark, I would typically expect rewards to come out between 4 and 6 p.m. British time. We're now at 6:30, and I've not checked it in a second or two, so I'll go back to that in a moment, but as of yet, not yet. Rasko Masaki's been winning more rewards than me recently. She's a bit more on pace with when the usual time is. I love your content and your Celtic stacks. As a Norwegian Celtic supporter, I'm jealous of the stacks. Joaquim Mo, fist bump, my man, good to see you. Thanks for joining us all the way from Norway. And I am also a Norwegian Celtic fan. I feel like I love my Chris Ayers. And I think who else have we had? Berget was alright. It wasn't really... I think Berget had like one good game, maybe two. Ronnie Dyla, of course, but Chris Ayer's the main one. I think I love a bit of Chris Ayer. My Twitter bio for like years probably only read Ayer can do anything. Love the guy. Thanks for joining me. I'm glad you enjoy the content. Hendo, fist bump, I've caught you already. Good to see you, my man. Thanks for joining us over from the dark side. When Roy Keane called Felix an imposter in the last Euros, I knew he would regret it. Hope he is on his desk for a big Felix performance soon. Yeah, like, Felix honestly looked hear my words, fantastic. Like, really good. And Getafe are no mugs. He's got bigger tests to come, especially once he gets in a run of games and his endurance becomes tested. That's kind of where guys like Felix, that's the first test that when we see promise and potential shining, that's the next hurdle that for me is a real acid test. If they can do it after they've played 35 games in the season and it's a clutch game in the 85th minute, even if they've not scored for 8 games in the run up to that moment, you know, that kind of thing is what I'm going to be really interested to see from Felix. But from what I've seen in game 1, yeah, hold on tight. Spurs match, what's that? Is the Spurs match on tonight? Danny DeWitt for AZ as a player. Yeah, he's coming up in a lot of search results for sure. Brian Teixeira is booming right now, under 23 forward. Who is he and who does he play for? Charlie Dunbar, fist bump. And Matthew, fist bump, good to see my man. Connor Aspel, fist bump. DX23145, fist bump, good to see my man. PK, as in Gerard PK. Blinders, fist bump, good to see my man. Seen some of the new GPL cards. What do you think a Skov Olsen SR goes for? Probably 4x the rare price for a guy like him. Stefan Johansson, of course, Hendo. I loved a bit of Stefan Johansson. Where is he now, by the way? Still in the Championship? Norwegian players have a good tradition in Celtic. Harald Bratpak, of course. Harald Bratpak was fantastic. A bit of a cult hero. He get this kind of unknown reputation for missing sitters, even though his like games to goals was like pretty... incredible at times. But Bratpak, like the first Celtic squad that I was really aware of and followed like every week was the team that broke Rangers 10 in a row, the Wim Jansen year. That was a, you know, don't get me wrong, I definitely was a Celtic fan through like 2 years of Tommy Burns, but I wasn't like who I knew. Di Canio and, you know, Tom and, you know, the main guys, but I didn't watch every week and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, Bratpak was in that kind of transfer window and I love that guy. Big part of my childhood, that Celtic team, I love it. Do you think there will be limited Liverpool cards? 100% yes, Pascal. We watching the UEFA Champions League games later on stream. I don't think I'll be streaming that long. I did think about that when we're coming on. Should we maybe watch Rangers get beat off a PSV or something? But I wanted to come on at this time and hopefully catch the rewards and do some lineup stuff and whatever like we normally do. And I think we'll maybe try and catch any games like that if I've got cards involved, because that's when I'm really tuned into it, and I would like to think you maybe get a better show out of me when I'm really tuned into a match and it's not just so I was saying to Alex before the things the spaces, there was no cards in the Liverpool game, and that was kind of nice as well because we could just all kind of watch it in the background and we're all just kind of talking Sorare, so that was kind of nice as well. I like that. But I'm just kind of bemoaning the guys that didn't quite come in. I'm not really bemoaning them too hard. I got some good scores across the place, just a few combos didn't quite come in. But like I say, I only really mainly expect to win a couple of prizes a week, and my big team kind of did everything I would hope it would do. But the unique is what let me down. It brought in 60 points with multiplier, 40 points without, so just not really good enough to cut the mustard above the 15th position really. And the interesting thing that I was doing on this game week, and I recommend everyone do this, because like when I'm on Twitter today, for example, in the last couple of days, people are talking about how difficult it is to win and all the rest of it, and I'm doing my best to, you know, make as much content as I can that's relevant and hopefully helpful and that kind of stuff. And like I say, with these things, guys, please do your best to be like colorblind. Like, even though if I'm looking at super rares and you're playing with limited, it's the same. All these principles scale up and down basically, right? So I'm looking at my team finishing in 15th, right? And this is a realization that I had. This isn't really a realization for this week necessarily, right? But I finished 15th with 429 points, and I'll be coming out with a tier 3 rare, okay? If I go and look at All-Star Super Rare, which would have been the alternative division to play them in, 400, let's just say 429 points is what it was. 429 points would have gotten me into 30th. Oh, no, above that, sorry, 429. It would have got me... I'd have been right in here with Alex Charles and... Alex Charles... 20. So let's just say 25th, right? It would have got me 25th. And in the prize pool, 25th would have got me a tier 3 super, and again I'd be at the top end of the pool. So scale wise, like, I'm kind of finishing in the same boat. I'm actually no better off or no worse. Is the global tier 3 pool any better? It's kind of, again, it's just a bag of jaggies, isn't it? So maybe it is, maybe it isn't, time will tell. But when these things pay off in a big way, and you realise when you finish 5th in this division, for example, and again, if you're in limited or something, like, everything comes in for you, you win the division, whatever. You always want to look at the biggest division and what would you have got. So 5-14, if I did have something massive, would I have surpassed this guy? Maybe not. Would I have surpassed the guy in the division in any way? 429, it's maybe a bit more achievable. So these are the things I want to take out at the end of the game week as well, because it's always easy to kind of look at your own score and think about, and just look at the Sorare data, how far away you were. But it's always important to have a real look at the top and how far away were you. Well, I was only 70 points away before multipliers and whatever, which isn't too much of an ask on top of 40 for the unique here alone. Never mind, maybe the captain does a bit better. That's all I'm really asking for, and that changes it dramatically. But then it helps you understand it when you're going in to actually prioritise for the upcoming game week. I'm thinking I won't bother showing my teams yet because I've got some stuff to go through. But when you go through into the next game week and you're prioritising your teams, again, it just kind of drives home that when you scroll through this whole Your Players tab, you should see guys and look at them and go, oh yeah, I could have played Trippier, and you should be able to see combinations here that... If I was being honest with myself, I shouldn't have played that Challenger team. If I knew that America team wasn't worth playing, and the striker had a good chance of a big match and whatever. When you give yourself those absolute truths of these sometimes really speculative efforts that we're making, versus like you could look at your gallery and by the end of the game week who the top 10 players are probably going to be. And it's just about trying to keep them as close together as possible. And if you can nail it where like your top 10 is made up of like 2 SO5 11s purely, and it's like a good thing, it's not just because you've got 10 cards. That's when like you do have one team that runs in and you're like, brilliant, I'm coming out with a great prize this game week. And yeah, the rest of them didn't come in, and I'm not surprised, because the rest of my guys, and I've got a lot of cards, right? So my list is maybe a bit deeper, but I've got a lot of guys that got these kind of scores, and a lot of guys with these kind of scores don't win prizes. But it's making sure that your quality is concentrated, and if it is you're going after underdog or specialist or challenger or under 23s or whatever it is, then I'd rather win one thing than nothing. That's always been my approach. I actually thought you guys were on a play page with me there, sorry, like this. I was scrolling through these players, I beg your pardon. So this is what I was scrolling through when I was talking. When you see all your scores at the end of the game week of all your players and all the scarcities, some of them won't marry up, of course, like Taylor Harvard-Bellis is a super rare and Magno's limited, so it's impossible to get them two together and all the rest of it. But always be looking at this at the end of the game week and really be honest with yourself. Like that's the kind of chat I always have. Like, should I have known let's have a look at it for real, right? Should I have known that Trippier and Taylor were maybe my 2 best super rares this game week? Maybe. Am I adverse to playing 2 super rare defenders together, especially in like a D3? Definitely. So that's something I need to think about. Maeda was in all my best teams, that's fine. Legit was actually in a team where his super rare multiplier didn't actually come into it. And for how weak I am in midfield in particular, that is actually a big waste of points. And again, there's other stuff that I've taken away from this that you can do when you're looking at your own gallery at the end of the game week. And like I say, I highly recommend you do so. There's a bunch of you watching this. Thanks very much for joining us live. If you do have fun while you're here with me, please do drop a like. It means a lot to me. Do subscribe to the channel. And I've got some comments to catch up from you guys. Are you doing the base rate of points or the points ratify points as well? I don't know what that means, DX. I'm sorry, pal. Alex Charles, fist bump. Good to see you, my man. Trips is on fire right now. A few hard fixtures coming up. Charlie Dunbar, you're right. He's got Man City at the weekend, and I really don't know what to do with him. You think people who bought the Trents a few weeks back are regretting it now? More supplies coming. PK Blinders, I would think that, right? But seeing my experience, no. Because I think every Trent that goes from this point onwards is not going to be too far off that price anyway, because it's still the same people. There's only 88 Trents now. when you think about some of the guys that are of that price and how many cards they have, some of them have got 2 or 3 seasons on Trent. So Trent, Van Dijk, like the big defenders, Trent, Van Dijk, Robbo. I think Konate is probably one I'd be interested in getting, especially if he's kind of cheap, because he's ex-Leipzig and I'm a big fan of Konate, so I might try and get him. But Alisson, Robbo, Van Dijk, Trent, I think their prices don't really move. The midfield in Liverpool isn't really that great on SO5 in terms of who they've got. Like Thiago, I don't think any guys are consistent, going to play over 35 games or play over 30 games, play 90-minute type of guys. So it's all really then the front three. Salah's the star man. Darwin Núñez will probably get some star power as well for under 23 bundles. Or will they be bundles as well, by the way? That's an interesting point. It's just kind of fell out my mouth. Jota and Luis Diaz are decent scorers, but Diaz probably will go for a lot. So yeah, I don't think new supply of these guys really changes them too much. I think if it was like West Ham still, maybe if West Ham were like still, if they get cards last year and they were like a top 6 team and really OP on SO5, then yeah, them being diluted. But Liverpool have that Champions League, that star, top of the food chain in world football, appeal that, like Trent is always the poster boy, English international as well, Champions League winner, Premier League winner. He's so young, he's so amazing, man. Like, I was thinking when I was watching Trent, Liverpool Crystal Palace on Monday night, he is like one step away from becoming Gareth Bale. And I think like when he becomes, and what I mean when I say becomes Gareth Bale, like it feels like Gareth Bale, like see when you watch old highlights of him at Southampton, Tottenham, going to Real Madrid, is it feels like a Pokemon, like he kind of evolves, he gets bigger and stronger with every iteration through his career. And Trent kind of feels like that as well. And I think when he gets to that Gareth Bale, Charizard kind of stage, if you like, I don't think he'll be a forward like Bale was. I think he'll be a midfielder, and I don't know what kind of midfielder he's going to be like, probably like De Bruyne or something. Everyone kind of talks about Trent could play midfield. That's been kind of said now for about 2 years. I'm not coming up with that here, But anyway, when you look at him, he's a cool guy, man. He's amazing at football, and again, he just gets better and better. It's kind of hard to take him out of right back, and I think Liverpool are built in such a way that allow him, even at right back, to play that kind of midfield role in a lot of different phases of play. Might not be for the full match, but a lot of phases of play, possessions manufactured in a way that allows him to get into those positions anyway. So I don't think they're losing much necessarily by keeping him at right back. But their midfield, like I said, that is kind of, it's kind of weak. It's not like, I'm not saying they're bad players, but it's just there's no big, wow, the midfield three at Liverpool is something to behold, whereas Real Madrid have got 2 midfield threes you could say that about at this point, for example. And Barcelona, for all their problems, have still got a really credible, strong midfield three combination. God knows what one it will be in the end, but it will be a good one whenever they come up with it. PSG have built a really strong centre midfield, and the list goes on. You don't need me to tell you about Bayern Munich and whoever else. So yeah, Trent, I don't think his price even, maybe give or take 10%, right? Just because of whatever's, but I don't think so, to be honest. Do you have any idea how to improve the reward structure? Yes, more cards is kind of what's needed. And I also think, again, I dropped a video on this, Pascal, you've maybe seen it, so sorry if you have, but like, I think the Unlimiteds especially, like, the top end is just so heavy with the multipliers on the new season cards or the season bonus. And, when that gets wiped out, there will be a real level playing field, like a real proper one, where everyone's in the same XP for at least like 6 weeks, I would think, where everyone's between that 5 to 7% range before there's any real differences kind of discovered on that front. And I think that'll make a big difference. I actually had some amazing comments back from that video. I'll go and pull them up and I'll show you them because they were from you guys and they were great interactions. I had a lot of fun reading them and thinking about them. And I thought I'll bring these up on the stream because they were really good points. So on that video I was talking about just how competitive it is and what expectations should be and all the rest of it. And where are we? Comments? This should be it. Now I don't know how this will look on screen. I'm going to try and find the ones, beg your pardon. There we go. That's everything there. So where are the ones that I liked? Yeah. So this is what Mikey Basson. There we go. I'm just going to pull it up now. So this is Mikey's comment. I'll zoom in on it, see how it looks as well. Wrong button. 2 seconds. Right. And then we'll zoom in. So what Mikey's saying here, pretty much summed up all well perfectly, blah, blah, blah. There was 37.8 points range between a tier 2 and no reward in All-Star Limited. Within that range was 1,700 managers, you know, so it is so tight. The XP makes such a difference, and when so many of those 1,700 teams lose 6% bonus on all their, or 5% bonus on all their cards, you know, they go from being 11% to being, you know, like 6% or whatever it is, or, you know, however it's all going to work out, then you'll notice that then the people that were just behind all them then maybe even surpass them on the same game week, you know, or break level with them, and it's maybe a bit more varied on captain choices and that kind of thing. Score seems like they're getting higher from Connor Hybo. This is a new one. It was to be expected though. Yeah, again, you can check it out. This was the So Rare Too Hard video. Some great comments and interactions from you guys, and there is like definitely criticism to be had, you know. I'm waiting to see when all the new season cards come out what the prize pools look like. I'm kind of, like I've been saying, it feels like we've been waiting for the perfect nexus to examine what the prize pools are made of, and it's always kind of manana, which is so frustrating because we've always been getting, and I did a really good video on this like when I was in the cupboard with the whiteboards and doing graphs and stuff, but over the last, like, this is August now, right? So over the last 12 months, the card supply has been going like that because we've always had new leagues and new teams and whatever. The reward pools, because they go on a 6-week cool-off period, and that's the way they were designed for a long time anyway, the reward pools should be going in like 6-week cycles as well, where it's like that, you know, kind of idea. That's the way it should be going. And then as well, obviously we've got leagues coming in and out with focus and all the rest of it as well. But now we're at the stage where all the leagues are on, everything's playable, they should be maximum positions, but the actual contents of the prize pools are on their knees because they've been, in terms of all the European contingent, it's been exhausted. It's all it's all on last season cards. And then again, for us, we've got a good complement of new season cards for South America, North America and Asia, and I don't think they've been overly excessively supplied to this point, to be quite honest with you. And it feels like a lot of guys getting like 1 rare a week at the most. Maybe a hot guy, like somebody who's really hot on form, maybe get 2 rares, or maybe 5 rares over the month or something like that, you know. But it's not been wild necessarily. So I think they've been really controlled to this point, and when we get all these new European ones, Austria's just came, Belgium's just came, we're expecting at least Liverpool, Scotland, and then everything else, Holland and everything in between, you know. So we need to see that really happen quickly, you know. Hopefully by the time we get to game week 300, the new matrix is kicking in, and as many of these licenses that are due for the new season issue are out. You know, I think the clock is on for game week 300. That is the watershed moment, I think, for a lot of, you know, that is now, everything that's going to be here for this season has to be here by game week 300, I think, you know. So that's where I'm kind of reserving any negative opinion or stance on the whole matter, to be honest with you, because I think that should be the line in the sand time where it's like, right, where is everything? You know, what's next? Or we need to see some more coming. Let me know your thoughts on all that. We have a vote as well. We have a poll in the live chat. Do you think it is Liverpool only or the full Premier League? My stance on it is it's full league or no league, because it's just the way it was all kind of carried out in the press and whatever. That's an NFT license bidding auction that Sorare went into for the NFT fantasy football rights for the entire Premier League. And I don't think Sorare, and I don't think the Sorare team are above giving us a little Marvel-esque like Easter egg foreshadowing into it, you know. So all the pictures are still there. I said this earlier in the stream, but just in case you're joining us now, like before when we've had these leaks and stuff, like, oh, they were really quick to rush back, and oh, there's Kanate. He's not had a picture ever before. So normally when these leaks come out, they rush to the website. Yeah, it's been kind of changed a bit, hasn't it? I think that's still the picture. It just looks like the strip is crap now. Was Van Dijk's a good? Yeah. Okay, yes, it's still the new season pictures. They normally run away and hide this stuff. Like, oh no, there's a leak. But now they're just kind of leaving it there. They've been really confident all the way through the summer. I think it's full league or no league. And if we're getting Liverpool, then, like I said earlier on, they've got 19 pals coming with them, you know. Should I put my biggest stars into Academy? Barclays member. Good to see, my man. I've actually got a video coming out tomorrow that answers that on the Sorare TV channel. It's called, what is it called? Or is it coming on this channel? I forget. There's a video coming out tomorrow either on this channel or the Sorare TV channel that actually goes into that. Barclays member. So great minds think alike. Great question, my man. And yeah, I'd say stay tuned to the content for that one, my man. The bundles will go for a fortune, yeah, they will. And the thing with bundles, see if you can get one on the sneaky, by the way, sometimes it can be a great trading opportunity. It does take a leap of faith. I've only bought one bundle. I got the Ivan Illich super rare in it. Have I bought? Yeah, maybe I've bought 2 or 3 bundles at the very most, but they scare me normally. I need to get a proper bundle where all 5 of them are something that I'm actually excited about, you know, and it's not just a bundle for the sake of it. I'm like, oh, it's Honda now, I might just go and bid on it. Transfers have killed a lot of the prize pools too, like the likes of Enzo, Haaland. Well, Enzo will get new season cards. Haaland, let's see, TBC and Veerman, yeah, they're not in at the moment. I find it really strange that Sorare don't have a set time for awards. Yeah, normally they're out by now. You're right there. Bought a Lobotka rare, Luca Calabrese at Napoli after watching the game yesterday. Wow, what a player. Lobotka's one of these guys, look at it, it's definitely had a bit of a reputation that could be somebody with some promise. So if you're watching him, and I think he's got the kind of Marek Hamšík vibes about him at Napoli as well. So if you're watching him, he's coming through. I'm really excited to hear from you how that pans out. I might need to get one myself because I'm very light on rare midfielders, and if he's super cheap, then I might be looking at him. Hendo is saying that Pascal add DNPs to prize pool on their current values. Yeah, adding in tier 4, tier 5, that was a very common comment that came into that video as well, and that's definitely something that would definitely aid the tail of all the prize pools. But still, if people are moaning now for, oh, I'm winning a tier 3 that's worth £1, you know, those same people will moan that, oh, I'm winning a tier 4 that's worth 80p or whatever. So I don't think necessarily that satisfies anyone who's upset. But those rewards can come, should come, and let's hope they do come. In some sort of guise, you know. Just making sure I'm catching up with everything you guys are giving me. Are you doing... Yeah, I think I'm up to speed with all these, right? So I was going to do some lineup building and some of that good stuff as well. Obviously, we've had the Fab Rom stuff, which I was really happy, and I'm hoping to catch a bloody reward opening while I'm on stream with you today as well. Still no reward as of yet. It is quite unusual for it to be this late. Normally, I'd say around 3 o'clock is what I would hope and expect for, and if it is going to be late, maybe like 5, 6 o'clock at a real push, but, you know, it's 10 to 7, and... so far, no rewards. So, interesting. So anyway, I was really impressed. Yeah, I've already spoke about I didn't really mean to speak on that, to be quite honest with you, but that was good fun. And watching the football the weekend, what else was I impressed by? I actually thought Wolfsburg looked really good, and Wolfsburg were one of these teams as well that I had a good bit of high hopes coming in for. Of course, I've got that Lucas Nemeka super rare, and I've got an Arnold limited, but Bayern were good. Wolfsburg weren't, you know, I actually think Baku had a really bad game. Wimmer, but his score does not do him much justice. What held him back? Just didn't do many. He looked really nippy. He looked really tidy. Just didn't also influence the match too much. This Maramush guy I thought was terrible. Like, I actually thought he was a real problem. Just did not think he worked well. Max Kruse did well when he was fit and came on, and I thought Nemeka really did his part really well, and Bayern were just being Bayern, as we've said a few times. And I thought Mane, like, he's integrated pretty well already. He's unlucky not to get a goal, was offside once or twice, and I think Bayern are just going to be imperious all season long. But I think Wolfsburg definitely showed some really promising shoots, and Wimmer, truth be told, was much closer to Nemeka, as was Marmoush. And Baku was a wee bit higher up as well, and this was a bit more of a back three of Borno, Lacroix and Van de Veen. This is kind of the formation, don't get me wrong, but it was kind of tilted off in that sense. That Wimmer was a bit further forward, and so was Marmoush, and Baku came in here as a kind of wide defender attacking auxiliary winger. But really excited to see Wolfsburg as well over the next coming weeks, depending on exactly who their fixtures are. And yeah, I'm trying to think if there was any other football I watched that was particularly impressive. The Typhoon thing annoyed me. I didn't see any MLS. I decided I caught a yawn there because I remembered I watched Barcelona over PSG. That game, it was so boring. Like, it was so boring. I wanted to pull my eyes out. It was so boring. Celtic had a great game. They were a great watch, of course. And like I said at the beginning of the stream, I only see Celtic getting better scores next weekend. So if you were scared of Celtic this week, twice as scared the coming weekend, trust me. So yeah, lineup builder. Now, I think when I look at the reward pool, I think it's probably the best thing to do is just have a wee look at the reward pool. So when I'm looking at my big cards or when I'm looking at my priority lineup, I can tell you, I'm just going to come to the punchline of this, right? Because I can't remember the full dance that I went through, but I jumped around between all the different prize pools, and when I came to Challenger to kind of analyse it, I'm looking at my team, I'm expecting better scores. We've seen the scores I got last week. I look at Tier 1 Super Rare, and who do I see staring right at me? Kyogo Furuhashi. Not seen him in the prize pools for ages, and that's the only card I'm interested in winning based on the prize pools that I can see in front of me. Daisen Maeda's also in here. So this is the only prize pool that I've got any real concern for this game week. Even getting a base at Super Rare would be cool, or a Liam Kelly. This is a fun prize pool. It's not that many cards in it, and yeah, there's only a few kind of disappointments I think to be had in here, and a lot of guys I would be quite happy with. So that's where I'm definitely putting my big team, if you like. When I do look at All-Star and I do compare and contrast it, I think, okay, well, if I'd get a Tier 1 there, then maybe I'd get a Tier 1 or a top Tier 2 over here, because that's just the way it kind of translated last week. And getting a top Tier 2 over here, yeah, some of these guys are really fun and interesting, but none of them are Kyogo or Maeda. Same with the Tier 1s here. When I look at this, Abada's in here, which is fine, but I'd much rather Kyogo or Maeda. And otherwise, it's a lot of global guys, which are fine. Conrad Limer's there. He would be a lot of fun to win as a super rare. Quite a deep pool, but again, no Kyogo, no Maeda. And those are the guys. Was that a Kyogo there? No, it wasn't. And that's who I want to win this game week. So that was I did a lot of dancing about the prize pools, and I say this every week, guys. You really need to do this and figure out where the rewards are that you want to win. Underdogs, super rare again as well. I put some good consideration into Tier 1s at the top. Don't think there's any Celtic players from memory, but it was like a decent. Yeah, Van de Veen would be fun. Balotelli would be fun. Greg Taylor would be fun. Yeah, so I don't mind this one either. That's a decent bunch of Tier 1s to shoot for. And, you know, I don't think I've got a necessarily great team. I've had some Tier 2s. What's in here? Cyril and Gong's okay. Against the bag of Jaggies, bit of a pick and mix, but for Lewis Morgan's fine. So that's the kind of legwork I've kind of put in the background already. Now, because I know that this team doesn't need a goalkeeper, and I know that specialist I could maybe get a team out in, and all I'm concerned about with this is there's a unique available. Christian Roldan is still here. Marciano is maybe worth a goalkeeper's shot, I suppose. I don't know. Thilo Keraher would be a fantastic unique to win. Evgen would be great fun to win. You know, these are uniques, guys. You know, Daichi Kamada would be. I'd love to win a Kamada unique. That would make me actually happy inside my body. I'd actually feel happiness. You know, Julian Araujo, copy and paste what I said about Kamada. This is actually Marcelino Moreno. So that's all I'm really interested in this pool. This is a pool that this is a competition that I'm only interested in entering it with the hope of winning it. And I'll make the best effort I can to do that. But I won't be doing that at the expense of the Challenger one, or maybe the Underdog one. I don't know. It depends on what guys I've got knocking around. And the same logic goes into the Rares and the Limiteds. And again, I'm not telling you anything new, guys. None of this is necessarily groundbreaking. But for the coming weekend, I've got 17 teams rocking out. And across that, and Sorare Data and Sorare Mega, I'm hopeful I can win another couple of prizes and whatnot as well. The main thing I would want to actually see on lineup builder, I don't want to go through the full making all the teams and all that stuff with you today, but if you're part of the member stream, you can do this anyway. You can actually build my lineups. If you think you know football better than me, you can actually just punk me. You can just punk me. You can go onto my account on Sorare Data, jump onto my lineup builder, hit community builder, pick any division you want, have access to all my cards. What I always recommend people do is do it with Challenger Limited. And no one's done it at the moment because that team pulls out rewards for the members in the members channel. But then, yeah, you can pick my teams and show me you'd have known better if you want to. But in this lineup builder, like, yeah, I don't think there's much point in boring you going through who I would be building and all the rest of it, because I have kind of built them all already. And I'll maybe show you the big ones or whatever, but it is Tuesday, it is early in the week. I kind of really just want to open this reward and it's not coming. That's kind of where I'm at this point, to be quite honest with you. So yeah, I might even just take a wee pause for the cause. I've been talking non-stop, it feels like, this whole time. And yeah. I'll get the chat back up and going. So we've got 65% of these thinking at the moment that it's Liverpool only. you should randomly punk us too. I don't mind that kind of stuff because I've done that before. It's funny because I was watching the Sorare data with Sean and Laird, and they're talking about lineup reviews and stuff, and we kind of started doing that kind of stuff on the members chat, and I actually think it's really good fun, and I can't wait to see them do it more often, because all I started doing for the members was going and building their teams for them in the game week, like having a look at it and saying, oh, I'd pick this guy and I'd pick that guy, and doing that kind of stuff, and it was great fun. I don't think we'll do that in the stream today, but the members stream is actually tomorrow. It's a Wednesday. I can't remember what time we've booked it in for. I think it's like 5 o'clock British time. If you want to join the member section, there's a link in the description down there. Just click on it, it'll take you straight to it. It's £2 a month for 50p a week, and you get into the Telegram group. It's like WhatsApp, and we just talk about Sorare all the time. And we do the stream on the Wednesday, and you can win prizes in that. Or it's £1 a month for 25p a week, and you just join the Wednesday stream, that's all. So yeah, we kind of do that stuff there and make it. I might just do that at random to like maybe, I don't know, John or Laird or something. Just pick a team for them and punk them. That could be funny. Did you see Barkas has got 2 clean sheets out of 2, Matthew? I did. Hologram Hands is actually saving shots now, and he got a great score. I think he was in the top 5 goalkeepers this game week. So it just shows you. Rasko Misaki, yeah, a bit odd. They haven't said anything about it either. Usually, if it was going to be delayed, yeah, you're right. Rasko Misaki, they have left it there. Beef out the pools though, so many injured U23s are worth a bomb, but follow, yeah, definitely. Wirtz and the Cherkeys and the Reynas, definitely agree. But again, would Sorare allow them to fall into tier 4? I don't know. I think they should. That would be amazing. But it's kind of like that idea that they floated. You guys, maybe some of you will remember this from ages ago, when they did the first iteration of the dynamic reward pool. They did say, "Oh, we're going to just randomly airdrop people that didn't quite get a prize, and they never done it once, I think, or maybe a few people got it at random, but that's never happened." So I do think that is a really small example of they do acknowledge that they have a cachet of rewards that they've not maximised or tapped into. But I do think their prime directive with a lot of this stuff recently is consistency. You know, like if they did just go, oh, fuck it, let's just turn them right up because we can, then that maybe sets an expectation far too high that realistically probably won't be matched on a consistent enough basis to keep people satisfied. So I do think there's a wee bit of expectation management going on as well with how they've bled the prize pool out to this point as well. So yeah, the air's clearer in Holland and in Glasgow, so Barkas can see the ball. What are you drinking? It's just some crap energy juice. I call it battery acid. It's called Relentless on the card, on the can. Just looked new Austria cards straight in Challenger pool, so looks like Belgium in the pool next week, maybe Netherlands week after. That's one thing I was saying to Hendo and Alex when we're in the spaces, because normally when we get new cards on, the kind of common knowledge on it is that we need to wait 6 weeks for them to get some scores and for them to get priced in auctions and whatever. But with these cards, we have historical data, so they should, in theory, just go straight in. We know what they auctioned for, we know what their scores are, we know what tier they're most commonly placed in throughout last season, etc. So I don't see there being any delay in new season stuff populating prize pools or auctions, really. So yeah, I make you totally right on that. Peaky Blinders, as long as we get them. Obviously, I do expect them to become fast and furious at this point. But I think they've left some of these things a bit late. They should have maybe been well advised to do some of this a bit sooner. Because I think by now, like really, it's game week 298 we're chasing down. And we should really have some of this stuff out by now. Europe has started. We just had the first games of... I suppose we're just getting the first games of all the major 5. So as much as we're living in Challenger World or America World, like Champ Euro, like Spain did just have its first games yesterday. So hey ho. It won't surprise you, but my big team for the game week that I'm going to throw into Challenger Super Rare is just copy and paste from last week. I expect the same results really from Hart and Taylor. I expect a better result from McGregor. Maeda should probably be the same, and I maybe expect a bit more from Furuhashi. But I'm also going to captain Taylor. I think he's earned the captain's armband, and I think, yeah, I can be shooting for the podium with this team. I think we're going to absolutely spank Hearts this game week as well. My All-Star Rare Pro, I think Tate is going to come into the starting lineup, and I think as a defender card in this match he will be OP, and then the forwards and everyone else kind of speaks for itself. But I think in this prize pool we're getting 20 star rares again. I'm kind of confident this team can get to top 100 or so, but it really depends on some of the other stuff that's going on. But again, Celtic and a few other teams are benefiting from this also, I suppose, like Bayern and PSG or whatever, that don't have any of that midweek stuff going on. But I think we're at home, we've got a really good fixture. I think PSG are away to Lille, and Bayern. I think Bayern have quite a good game, but I don't think it's an amazing game. I need a rare midfielder in here, don't I? I need somebody that might score a goal. Now, Leeds are at home to somebody that they might actually have a decent game against, and Tyler Adams does play some final third passing, so he can get lucky into a decisive. And I actually think his AA has been quite unlucky, and it's somebody that you should actually maybe look a bit closer and see if you agree with me, because if Leeds just stop conceding as many goals and he doesn't get booked, he does have the potential to have AAs in around the 55 mark, and then when he does luck out and maybe gets an even better game, he can be like a McGregor and break 60s, or if he lucks out and gets a DA on top of it, you're walking out with like 70-80 points potentially. But that's a lot of if, buts and maybes that he's not delivered on yet, and he really weakens this team, unfortunately, and I need a rare mid pronto to arrest that, basically. An all-star super rare, I'm actually able to make this team, which I'm actually quite happy with. So Ki Sung Young should be playing. He's lost the captain's armband, so I don't know what to really think about that. But they're playing Son Yam, who get battered off of everyone in the division. Mulgrew's had a full week of rest after being eliminated from Europe and getting absolutely rocked by Hearts at the weekend, so I'm hoping he has a good game. Sorry has a good enough goalkeeper. And then Giakoumakis, I expect, will do the same as last week. And Rio Hatate, like I said already, I expect to have a really good game week. I don't have any high expectations for this team whatsoever. It could finish last, it could finish top. Let's just see what happens with this team. That's kind of my stance on it. But I want these super rares together. They just feel, and Unique Mulgrew and Captain Soraya, this just feels like a working team. This feels good. It then takes me into specialist super rare. I've got Harks and Elena in as my L15 under 40 guys. Unal, I think, solid for a goal. Ben Henriks, by the way, when I was watching Leipzig, let's go into this, right? Henriks. Take note, right? When I bought this guy, I told you part of the thing that I loved about the prospect of this guy is that in Dominic Tedesco's second match, he played him in centre mid in a cup game that they won, and it was just a wee kind of testy type of thing. But in modern football, if you have that ability as a player to be tested or trusted in that position, in that situation, then you're a very calm and very sound footballer. You'll make good decisions, the manager trusts you, etc. Right? At the weekend there, Leipzig were playing very, very well. Where's his scores? Oh, there we go. We're playing very, very well. He was playing for the second time in centre mid, and he got an assist, so that made his score obviously 60 guaranteed. His AA absolutely fell apart when he got moved into right wing back after Leipzig went down to 10 men. Dominic Szoboszlai gets sent off, and then there was a slight rework. But Ben Henriks was sitting in here, and honestly, guys, as a defender card, this could be one of the best cards I've ever bought, by the way. Like, I bought him ages ago for bugger all. I think he's in the best 11, whether it be at right wing back or here in centre mid. Hugo Novoa has been out here at right wing back with Szoboszlai and Olmo in the middle, Rom on the left, and as you can see, the forwards kind of speak for themselves. But yeah, so Henriks, I think, comes in here as a very credible candidate to get over 50. Same with Unal. These two midfielders, they could do anything really. And then the goalkeepers playing Besiktas, I just hope they don't concede more than 3. It's quite likely. But they've had a week off, so maybe they've had extra training on defence. Maybe they're just going to park the bus. Maybe they only lose 1-0 and he comes out with some AA to come home with. That's kind of what I'm after with this. The top prizes are unique. I think this is as strong a team as I can commit towards it. In terms of the L15 under 40 cards, they're the two best I've got. That's a great striker that should score. That's a great defender that should do well. And that's a goalkeeper that I'm kind of crossing. I don't have many other options, and you guys will be in this situation with limiteds, I'm sure, as well. And when I look at my limited my limited specialist, it's not too dissimilar. I've actually got Soraya coming in here. Blanco, who got 2 decisives last week, guys. The Argentinian Trent, as he's known as. So he comes in here. Max Arnold's got a great game at home to somebody he should be playing passes around. Kramaric is playing Leverkusen. He can get decisives. And Abada, we know what we get from Abada from the bench. He's a great L15 under 40 card for me. So these specialists, they have to have a bit of detail. They have to have a bit of accent to them. And, for that reason, I think this super rare team could do something, Could. Underdog, again, I just think all these guys could smash. I've not got a better place for Guardiola. I might revisit that, of course. But yeah, that team kind of speaks for itself. Underdog, super rare. Again, Cunha's probably going to start on the bench. These other guys are probably going to score about 40 odd points. On the off chance 2 or 3 of them explode, then maybe we get lucky with this. But this is what I like this team for, because I wouldn't play any of these guys at any of these D3s, but I'm actually I'm really happy putting them together now. I actually look at that and think, yeah, it's a decent wee underdog shout for me. That I'm not too worried about. America Pros, odds and ends, I don't need to bore you with. And then limited, it's just, yeah, much of a muchness, you've kind of seen it. And this is All-Star, under 23, Champ Euro. Again, I don't have that much to throw at Champ Euro. Trippier is playing Man City, so I don't really want to go with that. Solare's got a difficult game. But I think both my Girona boys will start, and, they are playing Getafe, so I'm kind of covering both sides of the fence. If this team does well, Angel Herrera and Castellanos have scored big, and it probably means Una, Elena and Soraya, who I'm relying on in my Super Rare competitions, have maybe let me down. So I'm kind of covering both sides of the fence. I don't think this team will do much, particularly because of Trippier's fixture. But you never know, kind of idea. So I'm really excited for game week 298. It should be a great one. I'm looking forward to doing all this stuff as well with the Sorare Data World Community League thing. I get beat off of Morts this game week. And it's funny because unfortunately at the moment we can't see live tables and stuff like that. But I've played away to Red Bull Govan and lost. I've played away now to Morts and I played away to Red Bull Govan. Mark Patrick Rare of the Sorare Odyssey destroyed them at Govan, absolutely spanked them. And then Morts destroyed me at the weekend there. I now have Pip, Penguins in Paradise in the next game week. Watch out for Sorare Data Wednesday on Sorare TV. I'll be going through my lineup builder for all this kind of stuff over there at that time on Wednesday, which is tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, should be a great weekend ahead of football. Some really good fixtures. I'm looking forward to watching Celtic on Sunday. It's been a real pain in the backside coming into these game weeks where Celtic are playing on Saturday and it's the blackout and you can't really see it or whatever. There's a bunch of you just joined us over, maybe from the dark side, maybe you've been with Nellis this whole time. So I don't mind doing a little bit of a recap on some of the stuff we've went through. We've been talking Premier League and that kind of stuff. Get some interactions from you guys. I'm probably going to hang live. I really want to get my reward out. It's not came yet. I wonder if John's had his reward. My reward still isn't here. I really want to have my reward opening with you because it's my Celtic team. It's special to me, But we've got a poll in the live chat. There's about 60 of you here. Make sure you do like the stream while you're here, by the way. We've got the Liverpool cards. They have not been yanked. Normally when we had these leaks before, with Celtic cards, with PSG cards, with all sorts of stuff, we've had tons of leaks. So we pull them away and hide them really quickly. They don't want us to see them. But this leak, I've said that a few times on the stream and I'll say it again. This feels like Marvel Easter egg stuff, where we know that they're bidding for the league and no other pictures have been released. And this is like a wee oopsie and we've all spotted it and they've not went and hidden it away. So I'm of the opinion it's the full league or no league. And if we're getting Liverpool, they've got 19 pals coming with them. There's a poll in the live chat. I would love to know what you think. Is it Liverpool only or is it the full league? Did you watch Girona play? So where Josh is asking me, yes I did. So the Girona match, who did Girona play again? I think it was Valencia. It's actually quite a drab game. I think it was separated by a Solare penalty, actually, as I'm thinking out loud with these. 2 seconds, I'll pull it up. Tati played well, to just give you a straight answer to the question you gave me. 2 seconds. But the game itself was quite interesting. I'm 4th in specialist now. Oh, cool. It's just because I've got one guy playing. Hold! Oh, a bunch of teams are coming out. 2 seconds. I want to go and pull up the Girona match because I think there was more than one player that caught my eye in that fixture, and I don't mind talking that through with you. Yeah. So I watched Girona versus Valencia. I'll come back into the chat and grab these. But I watched Girona versus Valencia. I wanted to see Tati. I wanted to see what did Gattuso's Valencia look like exactly. And, there's some guys in the Girona team that do look quite handy that we want to be watching. Now, Alex Garcia, if that's how you say his name, he's had cards for ages. He's had cards since he was in Belgium, and he's had I think his unique and his super rares have been with Pavel and these types of guys. They're quite expensive. I'd love to have his unique. He's an ex-Man City guy, of course, and he's just one of these kids that Pavel Traders always got him up. He just won't sell him to me for anything reasonable. He's not that great a player, to be honest with you, but he had a great shot from like 40 yards. It does really seem like he's buffed out. When I've seen this guy play before, he's always looked quite feeble. But he looked actually really good and really controlling in that midfield, and he could be a really fun centre mid to have. Outside of him, I thought Rodrigo Riquelme. I'm pretty sure his dad is Juan Romano. There is a likeness there. Maybe it's his uncle or something. But he's on loan from Atletico Madrid, and he looked. He didn't play amazing or anything, right? But you know what it's like when you see a guy and you're like, oh, he does look special. There's a bit of hype around him, and if he's going to be forming a partnership with Castellanos and Saiz, you know, I can see that working out pretty well. It could be a good bit of fun. My boy Yangel Herrera obviously came off the bench, and I then noticed that our boy that's been on some of my tip videos and stuff like that, Miguel Gutierrez, is in the squad. So I think I might want to pick up a Girona Miguel Gutierrez, because I think this guy could be good. He's not starting now. It's a bit of a punt from me, but I fancy it. You know, I think he could do okay. I think the goalkeeper scared me at one point. I thought he was a bit of a, maybe, can't remember. And this guy, Jesus Vazquez, he played with me, John and Hendo went to Valencia, and I was impressed with him then, and he actually was quite impressive against Girona also. Not a standout guy, but a very capable operator, I would say. And when you consider he's 19 and how many minutes he's had in the professional level, I think that's a good sign thus far. Lino looked good, Soler looked fantastic, and I think, you know, I don't think he's in a rush to leave Valencia, but I think he'll happily leave for a big enough team. And he's happy being the main man, taking penalties and being the captain and all the rest of it. And Hugo Duro, I think, will have a very good season this year. I'm waiting to see. Like, Samu Castillo was very busy, and I think he'll be a good provider. But Guedes was so good and so effective. And, you know, I don't know if they've got enough creativity, especially if Soler is on the edge of leaving or not. So I do worry about Valencia offensively. But I do think they've got, you know, if Lino does really kick on, maybe they sign somebody else. They could do. They do have the bones here of a really good team. Guillamon and Musa are fantastic La Liga players, to be quite honest with you, especially if they can stay fit all year. And this is one of the better games SO5 wise Guillamon has done, and I can only see that improving if Valencia stay as robust as they have. They did go down to 10 men and had to really park the bus, and you know, Girona did kind of struggle to break them down because they just went full defence Catenaccio style, you know. But yeah, it was an interesting enough game. It definitely wasn't as boring as the Barcelona match, I can tell you that. And Tati did well, you know. I think he came close with a couple of shots. He was in the right position enough times. And it kind of gave me deja vu of when I seen Tati the first time I used to watch him at NYC. As I thought, yeah, he's got all the good stuff, but he's not quite got some of the easy stuff. And at that point in MLS, I thought, nah, he's not going to make it. And also he's proved me totally wrong. I'm seeing that stuff here again, and I've learned my lesson. I'm not writing him off. I see that as a positive that he's got these things, and I believe he will come good, I think, from what I've seen thus far. And of course, I'm sure we'll be following this on a weekly basis probably for a little while, since I've got his card, and I think a few of you guys do as well. Do you think Tati will play this week, Jonathan Gargi? I think he will. Saul will have 99% possession. Sonyan will camp on the edge of their box. Rascal Misaki, can you confirm Key should still play, even though he's lost? Yeah, you have already. Thank you. Thank you very much, Rascal Misaki. What time of reward do you know when I can check my tier card? Yeah, I think we're all talking about this. Did you watch Girona? Does Hasselberg prefer back four? Haustenberg? I think Haustenberg's best at left wing back. So with Angelino, when they brought him back from remember he was on loan at Leipzig, and then he went back to City because he did well, and then didn't work out for him at City, and then Leipzig brought him back. In that time, Haustenberg was very good at left wing back. He does do okay in left centre back when they're going to dominate possession and they can basically play as a left back. But he is a left back kind of guy. He's really big as well. He's very good at headers and stuff, goes up for corners. Does he prefer a back four or a back three? I'm not really too sure, to be honest with you. But he prefers to be able to be a winger and go up the pitch, if that helps you. No rewards out for John or anyone. Thought on Kudos and Quinton Timber for this weekend. I think Ajax have always got a good fixture, don't they? With Koku and Arunes returning. With Koku returning and Arunes not leaving, what do you think of the Turo to Girona rumours? Dituro, the goalkeeper, I think that would actually be really good because Conor Aspel, I thought Dituro was really a very good goalkeeper for Celta Vigo last year. He definitely didn't let them down, I would say. And when I'd seen that he was playing in Chile or something, I kind of wanted to buy his card, but then I'm like, he's 35 or 34, wherever he is in Chile, his career's kind of dead. Does he maybe fall off the face of the earth from here? I get a wee bit sceptical about some of those guys. But if he's linked, that would be a great move for him fantastic move for him. And I think he's a good La Liga goalkeeper, Turo. Celta Vigo had no defence last year. Marcusson is going to benefit from a real defence playing behind that midfield, because Celta's midfield is so good already anyway. And I think Girona have got the bones of a good team here. I think with Fabrizio coming on board, the whole league becomes more likely, said Fred the Almighty. We spoke about Fabrizio Romano right at the beginning of the stream, and I think it's again, just to recap for anyone who's just joining us, but I think that coupled with the transfer market thing, it's just getting so rare into the ether of information, because eventually they will want the site to have as much of the homogeneous data possible, so that if you don't have Twitter, you don't have 45 statistic apps for football, you can just have So Rare, and you can get the latest news from Fab Rom about transfers on your Twitter, on So Rare feed from his Twitter or something, and via Transfer Market all the correct information on all the players is there, and profiles and form and transfer market valuation and whatever. So I think it's one of these things that it won't really affect the market or the game or anything necessarily, but it's one of those ones that, like I said earlier in the stream, it just gets my juices flowing, gets me excited. Here we go, party time, you know. That's what I'm here for. I'm just checking notifications there, because I've just started to beep like mad, and I wasn't sure if it was maybe a wee email saying rewards are in. They still are not in, guys, but this might be an all-nighter we're pulling. I'm trying to think what other football. I'm actually glad you have asked me some questions about games I've watched and stuff, because I was planning on making a Euro roundup video of the games and stuff, and then had some calls, and I've made some other content and stuff. I've just not got around to it. So I'm quite happy we've made some of that chat happen tonight. I was really impressed with the Celtic game as well. And you know, not to sound like a dick, right, but see, when I watch Celtic now, I'm always like, yeah, I'm really glad this is happening, because I thought this would happen, and it's like, yeah, I love that. You know, Maeda starting and good game to be had and all the rest of it, blah, blah, blah. So I think Hatate starts next week, if you have asked me that already, over Turnbull. And I said this in the Spaces. I was on a Twitter Spaces with Celtic Fans TV, and I was saying to them at half-time, I was like, do you think Turnbull's playing like a man who knows he's getting dropped next week? Because he was just shooting and not passing far too often, and I don't think he's done himself any favours whatsoever. You know, so Fab Rom is probably the big news of the day. I think Belgium cards is nice, because they'll populate the prize pools, and they're nice cards, and Belgium is the OG licence, you know, it's been with So Rare since day one, so that's nice. But the Fab Rom one's definitely the big one of the day. As well as this whole Liverpool Easter egg thing, you know, they've not pulled the images away, guys. How can it not be the full league as well, after the whole thing that we had early summer, late spring about the NFT auction for the rights and all that caper, you know? I just think it's coming. I just think we're getting the whole division. Exactly my thoughts. Sorare's probably trying to combine as much information as possible to their pages. Lewis Blainsport, let's go. Fist bump, my man, good to see you. Pretty excited about the Burnley game. Yeah, so am I. Burnley are playing the now, aren't they? When Abada will be a starter, probably. Metal Gear, it's funny, I was saying this to somebody, I think I say this to everybody about Abada, is he will play a lot this year, but he's quite unlikely to get a run of starts, but he's very likely to get a run of decisives, and you just kind of need to deal with that. I'm sorry. You know, because he will hit form. Last year he had like 20 decisives by the Christmas break, and it was mainly from the bench or like playing out of position and stuff, because we had a lot of injuries and we were still assembling the team. So I wouldn't let that discourage you, but I just think that unfortunately it can't really be a mainstay under 23 rare like Jota can. He maybe needs to be a specialist card or an underdog card, I think, or maybe even challenger rare, you know, because if he can come off the bench, get a decisive, and because of the way he plays, he can actually get a decent AA kind of quick. So if he does get a decisive and racks up 10 AA in 10 minutes, then you can be walking out with a sub on 70 points with Abada. Like, that's kind of possible quite often. So when will he be a starter? I don't know. Isn't he better than Maeda? I don't know. Depends who you talk to. In the manager's eyes, I think Maeda does. So the thing with Maeda and Abada, right? Both fantastic players. The manager loves both of them. They're both best 11 standard, right? But Abada was signed by the club before Postecoglou came in, and Postecoglou wanted to sign Maeda first, but he couldn't with Yokohama, I think, because he just left. So it was easier to go to Vissel Kobe and get Kyogo over, because he didn't have any friends there to piss off, you know. But But he wanted Maeda. He wanted Maeda first. Maeda's the cornerstone of his attacking roster, or cohort, if you like, you know. So for as long as Jota is Jota, Kyogo's the main man in the middle, then Maeda just takes that spot. You know, Abada needs to do a lot to really usurp Maeda from that. Maeda will get rested. Maeda will come out the team. Maeda, we've seen in spells last year, just come off the bench for 4 or 5 games on the bounce, and Abada did start. They might get runs in the team, don't get me wrong, but it's not a case of who's better, because Abada, they're both very different, and it sounds very obvious if you watch them, but Abada is front foot, put the defender on the back foot, get into the box, make something happen, cause some mayhem, whereas Maeda is just on the whole time, running constantly everywhere. And especially in Scotland, in away pitches, what worked for us in Kilmarnock was Jota, Kyogo and Maeda can all interchange and come into tight spaces and play passes with each other. And you know, we've seen it in the Aberdeen game, it was very obvious. After 20 minutes, Jota and Maeda would swap wings, and then they came out at half time, they were back to where they started. After 20 minutes they swapped wings again. So that type of play, I think the manager has ultimate confidence the players that we're talking about can do this. Abada, in terms of that high level performance for the team to be a starter, maybe he still has some work to do, but when it comes to being the impact guy at 35 minutes to go, he's got that down to a T, and the manager's happy with that. The manager's happy to give him more situations where he'll be successful and he'll be happy, you know. Rewards are in! Woohoo! Yes! And yeah, he will get more games undoubtedly when midweeks come in as well, because Celtic will be minute managing, they will be resting and rotating and all that good stuff. Now, we have a super rare reward to be winning today. I'm just waiting for so rare to... There we go. So we've got a super rare reward. It's a tier 3. We went through the reward pool earlier on. We're going to end the stream on the card, guys. So who is it we're going to win? I've got my top threshold to be winning as well. I hope this is like something good. You know, this is just the ETH, so we'll get this pocketed now. Thanks very much, that little crumb of ETH. Now, I hope this is one of the good tier 3s from Challenger Euro. I tell you what, I'm going to steal a wee page out of John's book. How many of these are here? It's like 50 or 60. Guys, I want to see some party face emojis. Give me your luck. Ah, yeah. J Vic saying good luck. Thanks very much. Guys, give me the luck. I want to see party face emojis, or the dab thing that I do sometimes, or the rock and roll sign, or the live long and prosper sign. Give me some of that good stuff in the live chat. You're like 30 seconds behind me, so I'll give that a wee second. I just want some of that luck. Send it my way, guys. Send it my way. And then we will get the reward smashed open. I think we'll end the poll here as well. So sorry, 2 seconds. I've got this over here. So I think we'll end the poll. End poll. Boom. So I think most of you think it's just Liverpool. Yes, party faces, dabs. Thank you, guys. I've got ultimate confidence now. This is going to be an acceptable tier 3 super rare. It's from NEC Breda. He's 28 years old. He's a defender. It's Ivan Marquez. Now, I've got no perception on this whatsoever. Ivan Marquez of NEC Breda. The rare trades for bugger all. His scores are pretty poor. Does he play? Wow, this is new matrix. Centre back, not conceding many goals. AA game can be there. Even conceding 3 there. That's not too bad. Let's see new matrix. This guy might be okay for some of these underdog stuffs and whatever. New matrix, yeah, he's better, because he doesn't concede that many. Yeah, this guy's okay, to be honest with you. Like, what does the super rare go for? It's probably not one I'd sell quite easily or quite quickly, so it's probably not really 0.16 or something. Yeah, it's probably a guy who's just worth keeping, isn't he? Number 8. So he's almost got 10 super rares out. 27-year-old Spaniard. If he's that good, maybe he moves somewhere. Maybe I get him to use him as a bit of an underdog or something, and yeah, just add him to the pile, I guess, don't we? And there's our little bit of $50 or £40 or whatever we're saying. So yeah, so we add him into the pile. Oh, and also, the reward I got last game week, I forgot to tell you about this, guys. Let me know your thoughts, right? Killison just joined NEC. Yes, that's a great shout, by the way, because maybe they're going to be, looks like a solid defender in the new Matrix. Yeah, good underdog. You guys like him? Pretty key player for them. Yeah, regular starter. When do we have new rewards? Killison, could be worse. Yeah, exactly. It could be worse. The last reward I won last game, so that's us 2 weekends in a row. We've not quite got our winning run together yet. I'm hoping this midweek we can win something again. I'll show you my midweek teams before we go. There's a bunch of these here. But the last reward I won was a tier 1 from under 23s, a John Duran. And someone sent me a direct offer, straight swap, for the super rare Cavallini. And I just thought, fuck it. So I done it, and I've got him. And I think he's kind of in that bracket as well of could be like, he's 56, sell 15 now, but if he is in and out as often as this, maybe he could be a card that's maybe worth doing some stuff like that with as well. So I've got a wee bit more robust and super rare defence and forward, which I didn't really plan on doing this week, but there you go, with 2 rewards, one being traded and one just being captured. Here we find ourselves. So for the game week I've got Muric, Burnley goalkeeper, and then I've got Burnley midfielder Sam Basson, who was actually bought by, I want to say Mouldy, and gifted to the club. I'm terribly sorry for forgetting who it was. I'm sure it was Mouldy. It might have been Hoodwink, or it was somebody I talk to quite often. He's an L50 under 40 card. He was the only other one I kind of really had. Philip Max is playing Rangers, and then the NYC guys are at home to Charlotte, so they should have a good fixture. So I'm hoping this does really well. I'm sure NYC are at home to Charlotte. That might be at the weekend, but I'm getting confused. All-Star Rare Pro, guys. Talk to me about this one. Thiago Andrade has been getting bummed up by Nick Cushion and all of the, like fan media stuff that he gets interviewed on and stuff. He had a great score of the weekend. I think he's going to start again. I think he's going to get a run of fixtures and he's going to recover some good form. Seb Leggett has settled into Dallas pretty well. Morgan. The Red Bulls are really strong favourites to win against Cincinnati. If that's the fixture this week or the weekend, I forget, sorry. But anyway, Captain Morgan, decisive capable. Harwood, Bellis, of course, at Burnley. And Sean Johnson, I think NYC have got a good fixture. So those 2 teams alone for the midweek, I'm quite confident on. This team just needs to go and get me some ETH. That's all I really want them to do, to be quite honest with you. Maybe we get lucky and a few of them pick up decisives, but just go and get that ETH for us, lads. And then the last team, an all-star limited rare team. Just odds and sods, really. Spare pieces we've put together. And yeah, let's just see how well they do. So only 4 teams. 2 I'm excited about. 2 I'm not too bothered about. But yeah. All Burnley defence tonight, guys. So we want a Burnley clean sheet all the way. When rewards are all out and stuff. I don't know if I'm behind on the chat now or something. I'm just going to check that again, sorry. But yeah, I think we're all up to speed, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope you have enjoyed the stream tonight. Thank you very much for wishing me luck with the reward. Thanks to you, I got an Ivan somebody who plays for NEC Breda, who's a playable card. So thank you very much. I couldn't have done it without you, honestly. All those emojis really made a huge difference from all of these. I can see there. It's Gusto, Shaka Boom, Evan Crichtley, Ian Sorare, Dave L, Moritz Pike, Charlie Dunbar, Boo Jum, Jay Vick, Rascal Misaki. All you guys are absolute heroes and legends. Thank you very much. The poll finished. 65% of you believe it's only going to be Liverpool and not the entire league. I'm shocked that I'm in the minority. And yeah, good luck for this midweek. I'll see you again on Thursday for a live stream. Members live stream is tomorrow, I think about 5 PM UK time. Stay tuned to So Rare TV as well for content that came out yesterday. I've released some really good videos yesterday. One that was quite popular on the main channel, where it was how hard is So Rare, and there's a kind of companion video that came out to that. It's on the So Rare TV channel, and it was the budget builder, but the budget builder is centered around what I think is going to be the new meta for when we do the transition period around game week 300 to maybe game week 310 or something like that. So make sure you tune into So Rare TV, and then just look in the budget builder playlist. It's the latest video there. There's tons of content on that channel you can go and check back, and some of the stuff that's centered around budgets and squad builders and stuff, they're always good to look back on, even if you've not caught them when they were brand new, because some of those guys, maybe they've just went out of vogue, and maybe they're even cheaper now. And those are the ones, like somebody asked me recently, oh, how often do you buy players that you feature on videos? And it's very rarely, and if ever, I only really tend to buy ones that go down in price after the video goes out, because then I'm extra excited about them, because I'm like, well, I put this guy in a video when he was 0.1, now he's 0.8. It feels a wee bit rude not to, kind of thing. So make sure you check out all the content. Evgen, do we know anything about him? Evgen is a high prospect. It's Gusto, so if you've won one, then well done to you. I've got a U23 AZ midfielder. It's Gusto. Congratulations. Evgen is like a highly thought of wonder kid type guy. So congratulations. That's a good reward, I would say. Ivan Marquez, Little Lettuce 21. Thanks for the catch on that. I hope you've had a good one, guys. Good luck this game week. Stay tuned to all the content across all the channels. And I'll see you for members tomorrow. And I'll see you all for game week stuff on Thursday or something like that. Maybe with Harry and Alex and all that good stuff as well, guys. Stay out of trouble. And I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.